Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this fabulous night chess piece. Hi, I'm Melanie from Balloon Artworks. I'm inflating two 5-inch balloons with just one stroke of the Latex hand pump. So remove from the pump straight away, put a twist in the neck of that balloon and then just inflate with one stroke, trap the air, wrap the two necks over one another, wrap around and tie. Okay, and make another one of these. Take your two duplets together, place them on top of one another and just swap two of the balloons around, one from each duplet, and they connect together at the centre. Take another pair of 5-inch rounds and this time we're inflating with two strokes of the hand pump. 1, 2, straight off the hand pump, otherwise you will lose air through the hand pump. Put a twist in the neck just to trap the air. That's going to save us tying a knot. 1, 2, so wrap the necks around one another and tie. And to make another one of these. Take one of the necks from the lower tier and just pull that up into the centre of the cluster and then wrap around, okay? Just wrap around until you haven't got any more neck to wrap around, and that connects everything together really tightly. I've got a small water weight and I'll leave a link in the description below to my tutorial on how to make these. So just position this in the base of your larger quad. So pull that into between two balloons there. Pull the neck through together at the centre, right the way up. One balloon that smaller from each duplet, and then again pass it over the neck and around a few times. Okay, and then you can let go. Next, I'm going to be inflating 3 of these quick link balloons. These are the 6-inch size, and I'm going to inflate with 5 strokes of the hand pump. So that's to a diameter of 5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then just round off a little bit, put a twist in the neck and then tie. Okay, and you can pull this one into the body, into the base, and just wrap that around, okay? So by attaching the first quick link with the knot and the nozzle end, you're getting a much firmer connection to the base. And then we can inflate the next two to the same size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a twist in the neck. I'm not going to tie this. I'm going to just trap that between my fingers and the side of the hand pump and inflate the next one. If you need to, you can tie these individually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this is just a little quick time-saving tip. Put a twist in that neck and tie the two together. Okay, so that's what you've got. And then just pinch hold of one of the tip ends and just push the air out of the tip, and that's going to flatten the tip a little bit. And then do the same thing on this section you've got here, and then we can tie those tips together. Again, wrap around twice as you would if you were tying any two balloons together, okay? And that's what we've got. So it's all very wobbly at the moment. Next, take a 5-inch round and fully inflate, okay? So you get this teardrop shape, okay? So I want to let quite a bit of air out. So I've fully inflated to stretch out the latex, and then I can let quite a lot of air out until it's around about 3 inches in diameter and just fits comfortably in the palm of my hand, and then I can tie that into a knot. And we're going to make a split duplet. So we do that by placing our hands either side of the knot here, and with one hand I'm going to twist this way and with the other hand I'm going to twist this way. So it does look a little bit brutal, but it's quite a handy technique. So just squeeze the air and then twist in opposite directions and then wrap that knot and nozzle around, and you've got this split duplet. I'm taking the tip end here, again squeezing out as much air as I can, wrapping that into the centre of that split, wrap it round a couple of times and then tie the tip onto the nozzle that you are holding onto from the 5-inch balloon, okay? I've inflated a black 260 to a tail of about 4 fingers, and at the nozzle end I'm just going to twist a small bubble that measures about 2 fingers, And then I'm going to wrap the 260 between these two quick links. So just encircle that section there and then twist a section here and wrap that into this little bubble that you twisted here. So just wrap that around a couple of times, okay? And that's what you've got, okay? And we're going to leave this section up here for the moment. I'm using a 160 in a contrasting colour, and I'm just going to inflate this quite a bit. Okay. So I've inflated to a tail of about 3 fingers, and I'm just going to tie that off. So fold this over and very roughly find the centre, and we're going to wrap this around the muzzle, okay? So just place that over the muzzle, okay, and then needs to be reasonably snug, and then just twist at this point here. Okay, twist that around. You may need to just rearrange these bubbles on the top, okay, and then we're going to pull the horse's head down into this section here, and this is what gives the horse its kind of head carriage, okay, and that very classic look of the horse, okay. And then when you've done that, just twist these 2 bubbles together here, okay, and then we can wrap this section into this section here, into the section of the 260. Okay, so just wrap that around. Okay, we can give these ends a little squeeze. Okay, and then we can fold them over into a loop just to finish off this, this look here. So I'm just folding those over, measuring a loop of maybe 3 fingers or so, wrapping that bit of 160 around, and then doing the same thing with this section here. So just, let me show you. So just fold that over. These loops don't have to be exactly the same, so don't worry too much. So just measure the bubble of about 3 fingers, a loop of about 3 fingers, and then wrap those around. Okay. If you want to, you can leave these ends here hanging down. I think I'm going to trim them away. I'm just letting the air out and then tie the 2 ends together. And again, tying 2 knots and then just wrapping the 160s around a little bit. And I'm just going to trim off the messy bits. I've inflated a 160 and I've left a tail of approximately 4 fingers, and I just want to make 2 little ears. So I'm just going to pinch hold of that knot and nozzle, fold the balloon over and measure a couple of fingers, maybe 2.5 fingers. I don't want the ears to be too big, okay? And then twist that loop and then poke your finger through the centre and just grab hold of the knot and nozzle and pull that through. It's going to help ensure that loop doesn't come undone. Give your balloon a little squeeze and then fold over another loop of the same sort of size, 2.5 fingers. I like to just kind of squeeze here and then have a look, make 1 twist. I think that's a little bit small, so I'm just going to adjust. I'm happy now, so I'm going to carry on twisting, and then I'm going to take that knot and nozzle and wrap it around that second loop to help secure it. And then I can break the rest off. Okay, hang on to this and just let a little bit of air out of here, put a twist into this section and tie a knot, and you can save this for later. Okay, and then I'm just going to tie a knot here. Okay, so we've got a pair of small ears, and then I'm going to take one of these nozzles here and just pull it into the centre of those ears and wrap it around a couple of times. Okay, so that's what you've got. With the little piece that we've got here, we can wrap this around the base using the same technique we did here. So just make a twist here, wrap that around, okay, and then I'm going to just trim off the end and tie 2 knots. Okay, and then I can just tidy this section up here. So I want to create the horse's mane, and I'm going to create a series of bubbles, okay? So just smallish bubbles of a couple of fingers. Doesn't matter if these aren't exactly identical in size, close is good enough. So just eyeball and twist, okay, and make another bubble. And then another one. Let's see how we're doing. I think we might need just one more. A little squeeze to soften the balloon. And a twist, that's a little bit big. Okay. And then, yes, I'm happy with that. So somewhere buried in here, we have another nozzle from the Quick Link. So I just need to find that. Yes, it's there. And I can pass this section here between the ears and then just wrap that nozzle around that section to secure those bubbles in position. Okay? And then give your balloon a squeeze and a stretch because we want this next section to be quite soft. Okay, so we're going to take this over the top of the horse's head. I like it to have a little bit of a wave, just a subtle wave in the forelock here. So I'm going to let a little bit of, so I'm just going to stretch that a bit more. So if this is nice and soft, you'll be able to get a little wave in there. And at this point, I'm just going to twist a bubble and then I'm going to snip off the end here. I'm going to check that I'm happy with how that's looking. I want less of a gap here, so I'm going to let a little bit of air out here because I want that mane to fit a little more closely to the horse's head. And I'm going to tie this off now. I'm just going to tie a knot here. Tie a soft knot, which means if you need to roll this knot along just to lengthen that, you can do. Okay, let's have a look. You'll see it's gone a little bit short, so we can stretch this out. It's nice and soft. We can just grab hold of that knot and pull it slightly just to give us a little bit more length. Okay, let's make the wiggle, the curve. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to take hold of this knot. I'm going to tuck it underneath the gold 160, okay? Pull it underneath and then wrap the excess here in between these 2 bubbles here. Okay? Take a look at that and then cut away the excess 260 here. With this bubble here, I like to finish this off with a pinch twist. So just grasp hold of the knot and nozzle and pull the bubble outwards. And as you do so, twist that around. And that's just going to pinch twist that bubble and finish that off nicely. So you'll see that the horse is leaning forward a little bit. And what I like to do, just to assist with the outline of the horse, is I take a 160 and I put this, I just wrap the nozzle end around this section here behind the gold balloon. So just wrap that around a couple of times, okay? And then let that go so that this 160 is coming out here underneath the head. And then pull this 160 back and into the back here and into the pinch twist here. So pull that back as far as you need to bring the horse's head down into the position you want. So I'm going to do that from this side, okay? So pull it back like this. Into this section here. Okay, and then wrap that around the pinch twist a few times. Okay, and then we can snip this off. We don't need it anymore. And we can disguise this little section here. So just push it down into the split in the bridle there, and you're not going to see that uninflated 260 anymore. It just disappears.